I send my voice.
Okay, I just made a mess, as most people, because what I should be playing is this one. I'm sorry. Too many
Get it
shows.
right, boss.
Too many shows. Now we are correct.
Heave ho, me lads, and haul away. The Trojan War is done and gone. But 10 long years we sailed astray. Odysseus fights to find his way.
All hands,
Heave ho,
all the way.
Odysseus,
O wanderer,
homeward bound.
homeward bound.
Heave ho, all the way.
10 years of storm and sea all around.
We built the horse of wood so tall, hid inside and sacked Troy's wall. But Poseidon cursed the man that day. 10 years you roamed, he swore as we sailed away.
Heave-ho,
All the way,
all the way.
Odysseus,
The wanderer,
homeward bound.
homeward bound.
We landed on the Cyclops Isle. That one-eyed giant ate us by the mile. Odysseus blinded him with fire and wit. Nobody did it, was the trick of it.
Heave-ho,
All the way,
all the way.
Circe turned our men to swine, but Odysseus drank her magic wine. She warned him of the siren song, so he lashed himself for he could do no wrong.
Heave-ho,
All the way, Circe turned our men to swine, but Odysseus drank her magic wine. She warned him of the siren song, so he lashed himself for I could do no wrong. Heave ho, all the way. Past Scylla's teeth and Charybdis roar, 6 good men lost forevermore. The sun god's cattle we dared to eat, who struck the ship right from under our feet. Heave ho, all the way. And Calypso kept him 7 years long, still he wept for Ithaca strong. Hermes brought the gods' command, set the hero free to find his land.
Heave-ho,
All the way,
all the way.
he washed up naked on the shore, Penelope weaving suitors at her door. He strung his bow that none could bend, and laid them low from end to end.
Heave-ho,
All the way, he washed up naked on the shore, Penelope weaving suitors at her door. He strung his bow that none could bend, and laid them low from end to end.
heave-ho,
All the way,
all the way.
the long haul's over, the storm is past.
Heave-ho,
Me lad,
I,
the wanderer's home at last.
I know. Hey,
All the way.
Jacob's over there on the other side panting like, hey man, see, I'm in that intro. Why you got me blocked? Why you got me blocked behind the screen, man? Why can't I come over there and chew on the chair and and be part of the production? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Shaman and the Philosopher. I don't know what episode we're at, but we are at the
24.
The 5th of May, 5/5/26. How is everybody? How's Ricardo? There's Miss CMS. Right, Jacob. Only trouble is we have to make him bigger because he is.
Oh yeah. Let me get some at my house. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not at all insinuating it needs to be done anytime
It
soon.
needs to be done, but
It's
I
just
need time to do it.
how ridiculously fast he grows is more about what I was talking. I was looking at him today. We were coming back from Flag Mountain. And I was looking in the back of the car, and he was just sprawled out because he was exhausted. But he was from door to door. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to get a whole new car just for because he's only about halfway. How is the chat? How's Jay Quills, Miss CMS, and Ricardo? How are you, man?
All right.
Welcome
Just-
to Shaman and The Philosopher, everybody.
Welcome. Just overwhelming. The time, my time here is running out, and now it's all concentrating at the end. So tomorrow I will have a meeting with well, in here I have to find a way to mention this without offending anybody because of the times that we are. No, it's like, how do I call? I still don't know how I'm going to treat him. Like because I'm going to ask for 2 students of Native American ancestry, right? So I can train them before I leave in what I'm doing, because I think it's their legacy, so they are the right people to do that. So I will have to find a way to say, I need 2 of your students, because he's a Native American, but he's also a teacher in the University of Native American Studies. And so I have to find a way to say, I need 2 of your students, but they have to be, I can't say Indians, indigenous peoples. It's weird. So I don't know how to say it. We'll find a way. So I'm going to meet him. He's going to meet me and Jim on the office tomorrow at 11. And let's see if it all goes well. So it's right on top of the time, but we'll see.
First people?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they definitely are not the first people. There might be descendants of the first people.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of some
Who are the
other.
first people? Who can claim that, right?
That's part of the hunt we're on. I do believe that is part of the larger project at large that we'll figure out. What's up, Sarah? Thank you for
Sarah.
joining us, showing up this evening. So I'm all, my hair's all wet and I'm all messy because I just got cleaned up. Went out to Flag Mountain today. Sarah called it Hyrule when I sent her the video. So Zelda fans will understand that one. But Ricardo, I think did you have a couple of points you wanted to throw out there before we start looking at anything?
I want to see if any other podcaster out there is having the same situation. So our videos, especially the Roundtable Chronicles, we had an enormous, we are a small channel, of course, but we had an enormous amount of views on the last couple of shows indicated right after the show, right? And on the next day, we're talking about several thousands. And on the next day, the views were reduced to like 40 views, right? On our last Roundtable Chronicles, we had 403 views at the end of the live, which means 403 people were watching the live, which is an enormous number for us. And 2 hours later, we are above 600. Yeah, that's at the end. Exactly. The stream took 2 hours. That's at the end of the view. If you now as I watched it today, when did I watch it? In the morning, it was indicating in analytics 23 views.
Let's see what it says like when I look at it.
Right?
Because I went and looked at it. I went and looked at it when you sent me that screenshot, and indeed, that's how many views it registered, and it grew a little, like 409, and that seemed to be the baseline. But yeah, then it went to, let's flip over. Well, it's so it's stating 66
Wow,
currently. Yeah.
66. So we had 200,000 views on X on my post. So even if you put 1% of that, it's a lot of views. And YouTube is cutting everything. So Sarah is saying that she's having the same. So what's going on? Is YouTube on war with small channels or on war with X? Why aren't these views being placed? And I noticed that Dave from Dave Multiverse on our
Yeah. What's up, Dave?
Mars disclosure, uh, he was saying that we had about 100 people live watching.
Right.
And if you go and see the views that he has now, it's ridiculous. It's at 70 or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's not happening just exclusive to us. So I don't know what YouTube is thinking on doing this to the channels, because the channels are there to grow, to expand. We're here to pass the information. It's not about monetization or money, but it's about to grow in numbers to share our information. So I don't know what is the intention behind it.
Jacqueline says she looked at the same video the next morning when you mentioned it in the chat, and it was at a few thousand. Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing, and then it just like wiped. So I think the thing to be traced out perhaps is if the view comes from X, like if they in their algorithm, I don't know, have a way to tell, when the view's coming from X, if they are not going to count that, because like you said, maybe there's something we're not quite aware of going on between YouTube and X. I know X is planning to increase by several fold the monetization program for live streaming on X, right? I saw that post from one of the X, whatever you call them, devs.
Yeah, the requisites
So
to get monetized on X are enormous. It's just,
yeah, no, I mean, I'm not. What I'm saying, Ricardo, is that there could definitely be something going on behind the scenes, right? So that way, if you're seeing, we're seeing a lot of these come over from X and click through, maybe there is something going on where they're taking those views away that come that way. I don't know how else to explain it. Otherwise, you're talking about YouTube like just messing with a channel. I mean, I don't know.
channels. I'm not making this.
Yeah,
exclusive
multiple
about that.
channels,
Yeah.
right?
So
Right, but potentially some just some background war, whatever you want to call it, between the businesses, the corporations that is infiltrating our attempts here.
no, I have no idea. And
I've never had many views, so fuck it. I'm just gonna keep going.
yeah, but it for people that are regular, right? It's only a matter of time. You watch like Jeff of North. He grew organically and managed to monetize, and his views are increasing slowly but steadily, right? And if they start doing this, it crashes the channels down, right? For instance, it's a completely different. But I remember my own channel, which I have not created anything in a while, although there's 50 videos there. History, Myths, and Legends. When I went and tried to monetize the channel, they reduced my views from what was already on 2 or 3 times above what they were asking, and they reduced my views to 0, literally 0. Right? So it's like the channel had to start all over again. So but that might be for other reasons, because I had videos in there that weren't mine, and then I deleted all those videos before the monetization because I read that I couldn't have them, and left only my videos there, transported all of that to Rumble, all the videos that weren't mine, and they still did it. So I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. I my own experience so far in my my own little channel I started, right? I've got so few, that I don't think it's worth messing with. Now, may they be like suppressing it? I mean, who knows? Nobody ever knows that. But I've got like the standard 70, 75, whatever on most things that I tend to put out, and that goes for both the live and the videos. And, the videos might surpass that by 50 or so, right? But so that tells me it's generally the same percentage of my subscribers, which again is very low. I'm at like below 200, 180 something. So that's been my experience since I've been live casting so far and putting out sort of half-hour videos simultaneous with that, and then putting out shorts. Shorts are different. Shorts will just bounce. Now on X, see, I've been simulcasting. So when I go on YouTube, right, I'm going on X and I'm going on Facebook, right, live at the same time. X is just totally fluctuating, right, because sometimes it'll be 3 while I'm at it, and sometimes it'll be 200 while I'm at it. And of course, those don't seem to go anywhere. They stay what they were. But like the numbers that it catches is just fluctuates. But I've only been at it about, I don't know what, 6 weeks doing the lives, and then almost 2 years, or just over a year steady on this YouTube channel, because I was using other platforms. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I definitely not experiencing any like growth or anything. But as you say, it's not really about that. When people do decide to look, we'll already have quite a bit out there for them to turn around and look at. That's the way I see it.
Look, my how old I am I? My 30 years plus friend from Multiverse that just launched his Aaron novel. He is on X. I pushed him for him to create an X account and so on years ago. And the thing is, he keeps with the same following. He does post regularly. His content is awesome. And and X cuts constantly. Like he gains 3 followers, he takes 2 out. Then he gains 1, he takes 2 out. His number is always the same. He can't gain followers, for instance. So I don't know what the algorithms sometimes do to people. He's been struggling for that for 2 years.
You know where I've been capped on X? It's funny. My screen name is Shaman 711, right?
Yeah.
I've been like you said, adding and subtracting right at 711, and then I think right now I'm at 712, and then I'll go down to 710, and then I'll go up to 713, and then I'll go back down to 703, and I'm like, God damn. And then back up, hover at 711, and I think I just peaked back up to 713 after yesterday. But it's the same thing, like you say. I don't do a lot of like follow back unless I see reason to. I will try to make time to like each of my followers get to like look at for a second and see. But I don't know how that whole X algorithm works. Maybe it's better if you just follow everybody back instead of trying to like use it for any sort of news or something. So I don't know. Anybody shout out what their experience are? Yeah, shorts on YouTube are strange. I've got shorts on YouTube that have hit like several thousand, right? I mean, which for me, averaging around 200, 150 views is, it's cool. But then you'll have the same thing, Sarah. You'll put out a short, very same thing, very next day, and it's like 3. There's just no way to tell.
Well, this interesting or not so bureaucratic stuff aside, you've been to a very interesting
What we learned
from pictures, and I was very curious about that ancient house or ruinous house, and then that tower. And I know you're going to put it on your channel, but just give us a little.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live. I guess probably tomorrow because it's gonna be kind of stormy. So I'll do my show tomorrow, And I've already put together the video. It's about a 36-minute video, and I left out a good bit of B-roll too. And I'll wait and I'll do that full watch through on my deal tomorrow, so I can just sit and ramble on about my feelings after they sit with me tonight. But what we're going to do here is we'll look at a little bit of the video, like perhaps the one I put on X would be a good one. That's the one I shared in our Discord. To sort of show everybody. And then what I want to do is this. So I went to Flag Mountain, and I'm going to go ahead and start sharing the screen here in a second, but let me describe to everybody. So Flag Mountain, you know, I've always heard of it, but it's just never been, you know, something I've dug into. And last night it was presented to me by a household member, just somewhere their friend used to like to go. And so I said, well, hey, let's go check it out on the map. And I looked at it, and everybody knows Hatchet Creek. If everybody that knows my work, you know, even on my show, I've spent a couple of episodes at Hatchet Creek. Well, I look at the map, and like due north, man, due north of Hatchet, the spot at Hatchet Creek, same road, is Flag Mountain. So I go, oh, let's go check it out. But what we'll do here with some screen share is maybe perhaps let me pull up the X video first, and we'll give everybody a visual. And then I want to pull out some maps. Maybe I should start, well, it doesn't really matter, Jason. Because even if there are 100 people watching tomorrow, they're only going to tell me there were 3. So what are you worried about? All right, let's look at my homepage on X. So I need to go there. Go home, go there, and then I got to W over, and let's go share screen. There we go. Let's look at Shaman 711's X. And look, I wasn't lying, man. Look, I got 712. I'm one down. All right, so let's check out this video that I put out here today, just as a little teaser. And let's blow it up. Is that full screen, Ricardo?
I can tell you in a bit, because my screen just turned black. Just a second.
Don't worry. I know. I've learned how to play this game. Haven't done it a bit. There, I can do that. I can double over the window. Only thing is the buttons get tiny. But here we go.
Yeah,
so on top of Flag Mountain, and we'll look at the map here in a second. Here we can. I've learned. I'm just going to do a little share this tab instead move. So let's go to share this tab instead. All right, now Google Earth, everybody. Welcome to it. There's North America. Let's zoom in here on what we're going to call the Flag Mountain Tower. That's where we're going today. So you see Coosa Wildlife Management. Now, just to give everybody sort of, you, Ricardo, some context. Right here is the impact crater, which I've always covered, you know, been talking about for several past weeks, right? The area of Mobile, DeSoto, Tuscaloosa, through Wetumpka, over to Prattville here in central Alabama, right? You've seen me go up Corn Creek quite a bit. And then if we follow the Coosa River on up, every other area you've seen me explore, excuse me, from Corn Creek, right, and then up through Swayback Trails. These are all names of videos and episodes, and continuing on up to Hatchet Creek. Well, all of these sites essentially follow the east side of the Coosa River here, right, which was heavily populated, according to the DeSoto Chronicles, with indigenous peoples when they came through here. They said, Ricardo, when they were passing through, and this is in northern Coosa County, they said when they were passing through Coosa's territory, which from when they entered till they got to his town, which was something like or around or called Tallahassee, Talsi, very down here around the impact crater, you know, somewhere in that area. Here, they said that it took them 23 days, I think, of you know, that's how long to travel, and that on many of those days, they passed through as many as 10 or 12 towns, right? And those were not including some of the, we lost Ricardo, some of the smaller towns, which they described as being off the road, right? And so that shows you the population. I'm sure Ricardo will be back soon. So here we're going to see the Coosa Wildlife Management. Hatchet Creek, pretty obvious right here, right? So this is, and Swamp Creek here, the areas I've been filming, been focusing on, and finding these piles of quartzin filled stone, right? If you've, again, familiar with any of my videos, you've seen that all of this through here are these giant piles. Looks like a hill, looks like a very small, mountain, ranging from, they're 30 to Flag Mountain, which is around 1,000, right? But they're piles of stone, especially here on Hatchet Creek, these smaller ones. Well, then they just sort of build, right, as you travel up here to Flag Mountain. And this is where we zero in on in this video. What I'm going to show with you now is the video is they did establish here at the top of Flag Mountain during the conservation, so it looks very much like the 1930s. I think was the 40s was the WPA after the Depression. Looks like that type construction. Yeah, and this was just a really intriguing mountain, man. So the road that I took up there, I think you can see right here, this little dirt road was quite an adventure. All right, Ricardo's back. I just kept explaining the location of this, dude.
You did good because my connection just poof.
Yep, rock and roll. So what I want to do next time, is I want to explore this creek. This is a very interesting bend in this creek here to me. The way it just, see, from the same sort of line, always interesting, especially in these strange rock-filled territories. But Flag Mountain would have been essential, really, to anyone, when you start talking indigenous peoples of this area. And you'll see from the video, the vantage point you have. This is the southern terminus of the Pinhote Trail, which travels north and connects to the Appalachian Trail, which everyone may be more familiar with. So this is sort of a southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail, because you could start on the Pinhote here and then head straight on the Appalachian Trail and then boom, all the way to Maine. And that begins here at Flag Mountain. I learned in the video, I don't want to give too much away, but I did learn about some potential ruins. At least that's how the map marks them. Somewhere up in here, in this emptiness, up off of this creek. So what I really established today, and then up down, by this creek, somewhere up in here, there's what were identified as ruins on the map here. It's a little staked, park run area, with a few cabins way off. Dude, this is so in the middle of nowhere. If you when you see the entire video, I try to show some of the drive just to give everybody an idea. But the map does a pretty good job of showing you how completely, there's, nothing surrounding this place. But lots and lots, and the cell phone service is non-existent. Okay, so let's pop back over here, and we want to now share this window. Ricardo, everything good with your tech?
Yeah, I fell down again, but this time was shorter.
Okay, good.
I didn't have to come in again this time. It kept me on.
Okay, excellent. So now let's take a
by
look.
the way, we were having people saying that the screen share was too small. Well, that's not what I'm seeing, but let us know if the screen share is as big as it can be.
Yeah. Okay. Here, let's. I can also check on YouTube on my phone to make sure. I remember that from the roundtable last, where what we were seeing was not what was reflecting on the YouTube there. What is it, man? YouTube, get your shit together, guys. What's going on? Okay, so, well, this looks fine. This looks fine. I don't know what was going on with the map. Oh, I see. Oh, that was awful. Sorry, y'all. When it's the map, it's like more than half the screen is just you and I, kind of like it normally is, and they like put the map just a tiny bit off in the corner. That's terrible. But now we're looking great, where we want to be for the video at least. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
So here's a little teaser, Ricardo, from the very top of Flag Mountain here in Alabama. Okay, friends, we are at the top of the tower on Flag Mountain. Look at these peaks through here. That's north.
Are those peaks any way related to the crater or not? You can see the crater.
So no, this is, well, I mean, you're not many miles north of the crater. We'll look at the mileage, but I don't know, 30 at most. And this is considered the southern terminus of the Appalachians as well. We're gonna go meet Jacob halfway, so he doesn't have to make the whole climb. You ready?
You want to meet him halfway, so he's
All
going
right.
to jump up.
Climb at your own risk. Nice to see you. So I'd climbed all the way up. There's a parking lot at the bottom, and I'd climbed all the way up the hill and was videoing the whole way, and basically turned that into, and then all the way up this thing, which I expected to be closed. When I get there, the signs say it's only open Thursday to Tuesday. So I was like, no, Thursday to Monday. So I was like, well, I'm screwed. But I went ahead and did the hike, and I got up there, and everything was wide open. I mean, just wide open, not even a door closed. So yeah, I was able to climb up to the top. So I went ahead and just in that one shot climbed up there, and I thought I heard Jacob starting to follow me, but as you see here, he was waiting diligently at the bottom. Tower, great view, very charming. Here we go. It's okay, dude. I'm coming.
My God, what happened to your shoes? We can see your fingers and everything.
Tevas, sandals.
Somebody, guys, buy some sneakers to Jason, please. Those are old and...
There's Jacob.
Waiting patiently. He's like, man, I am not messing with those things. Cannot say I blame him. Very cool spot, though.
Awesome. We waited for you without a leash.
And we did climb at our own risk.
Yeah, he's good like that.
I'm back. I'm back.
He stays
Back
close.
out of jail. Here at the charming lookout tower. Flag Mountain.
Foot fingers. See what I mean? It's just
Look.
wide open, man.
They even leave the little
Nobody at work. I mean,
office
nothing.
open for the guest registry and some materials.
But is this really open
We
to
need
the public, or is it
materials.
just trespassing?
No, I mean it's a little state park area, and there's a QR code. I paid $5 on a QR code with my credit card to be there, but there was nobody. There's no staff. There's no gatehouse. There's nothing. There's just some signs, and there's a gate on the road that they say is open Thursday to Monday. But I met one guy, and his friend came walking up there for a minute, and he said he sold houses nearby or something. So I don't know, he's probably showing a potential home buyer what was up on the mountains, because it really, unless you look, or you go to effort, you think you are in the middle of nowhere. I mean, cell phones don't even hardly work here, man. So it's just you wouldn't know all this stuff, especially this natural beauty is all around. But yeah, I paid my $5 so nobody could kick me out. But nobody was there to ask me to see my ticket. So, but yeah, it's just wide open, man.
So you went back and asked your money?
Smoky. So I was hoping something just on this place.
To see, we're in the Weegufka State Forest at Flag Mountain. Everything is, like indigenous. I mean, this whole state, all the names. But anyway, you can see there too that the Pinhoteh Trail Alliance, which again would sort of be a southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail.
I'm always amazed the fact that nobody decided, oh, this would be so beautiful in my living room.
Yeah, right. Well, there were some, whatever flock cameras you saw down at the bottom. And I'm sure I wasn't looking for cameras, but you can see, different. There's some piping there. I'm sure there were some, but whatever. It's out in the middle of nowhere. The only traffic I even saw were like logging trucks, other than that, the realtor that was, showing somebody around. It's truly out in the middle of nowhere. So I guess you just got a lot of, you're dealing with the goodwill of people, which, is something that on these trail systems in the U.S., you'll see a lot of. And in these state parks, they're dealing with the goodwill of the people once you're inside the state parks. I'm terribly intrigued by the fact that, I could hit this trail system and walk all the way to Maine on hiking trails. That's just, it's one of the cool things still left in this country. That we have these trail systems, many of which were made from, old original indigenous trailings.
Here at the Wetumpka State Forest, Flag Mountain. Yeah, this is a very charming little place. Very
Oh, there's
lovely
lighting.
spot. Now that you've seen it, and I've seen it, I just climbed up here with you guys, so I'm gonna stop filming and just walk around for a bit.
Someone give that dog some oxygen.
We had stopped on the way up, and played ball for a little bit at Hatchet Creek, so he was already out of breath before we climbed Flag Mountain. For sure, he was having himself a time. What I want to do too, though, is
take the dog more times out. He's too long at the house. We have to take him out.
yeah.
He's only going out in the woods every day, so it's not enough.
He has to. It's the only way to get him to act like a normal, calm dog the rest of the time. One thing I want to do too, while we've got everybody just hanging out with us, so I want to look up some facts on Flag Mountain, and then I'll of course share the screen, and let's see what we can learn about this thing after I took my first visit to it today. So, Alabama's first mountain, Alabama's Trail Foundation. Yeah, let's start looking at that. Let me hit share screen. Flag Mountain, Alabama. Okay, so all right. Oh, and the Lookout Tower built in 1935 by the CCC, Civilian Concert. I was close. I was saying 30 to 40, wasn't I? So, 50-foot stone lookout tower. Let me look on X and make sure, because we had complaints, that our share screen is in right proportions, and indeed it is. Okay, so Alabama's first mountain. Let's check out Alabama's Trail Foundation, what they want to tell us about this place. I want to learn about the ruins. So when I looked at the map, one of the little icons of all the trails that said, it looks like a little tent. Well, I didn't realize till I stopped and I was headed back out that it's ruins. I thought it was maybe campground. So this thing dives off. You can really see in this picture, just vroom, vroom, either side, really, really sharply. And that is one thing that stands out to you in this world of these little lumps that are, as you'll see in my video, big piles of rock, really. I mean, we call them mountains. I want facts. Okay, Flag Mountain marks the beginning of the 170-mile-long Alabama Pinhoti Trail. Yeah.
We are
a
not
native
seeing what you are
stone. Hang on, a native stone and timber tower. You're not?
Nope.
Oh, share this tab instead. Yep. A native stone and timber tower. Right. Keep reading. Okay, so here's about their cabins, which look great, and I definitely want to check out the pricing on my own time. The journey, that tells you the main way. So in my video, I take the back way, of course, and that was really cool. All right, but no, I don't want the master plan on the trail. Let's find us a map. Really? Is this all you've got for me, guys? Rent a cabin? Like,
Give us the money.
This is kind of an empty website, isn't it?
They're using the same management as Gobekli Tepe.
Right? Okay, let's I mean there is nothing there. Okay, so let's just see what facts we get here first. So Flag Mountain, Weguffca State Park, State Forest in Coosa County, Alabama, southernmost Appalachian peak, over 1,000 feet, and the southern terminus of the Pinote Trail. So it is, oh, look at this, 1,152 feet. Offers panoramic views of the Coosa and Tallapoosa River valleys, as well as the Talladega Mountain Range to the north and east.
So about 450 meters tall.
Yeah. 7 miles. So I want to find the map and look at these ruins and see if somebody's got
Oh,
some
it's
pictures.
7 miles. So it's the Himalayas then. You've been there.
Oh yeah, I mean 7 miles is. Well, you saw like at the video I did last week. If you watched that, where Logan and I went and did the spiritual walk at Swayback Bridge Trail on the Coosa, the spiritual walk and talk is what I called it. I think. You know, that was about 5 or 6 miles. You know, in and out. I mean, that's standard. Anyhow, it's a lot of trails, you know, cool trails on the map, and they all get connected. So getting there, but so there's nothing about the Vic Creek Preserve protects montane longleaf pine forest, one of the most endangered. Okay, yeah, I know, but I want to see a map. Okay, so we got our basic facts. That's what the ruins. Welcome. That's what I want to see. What? Oh, they are campsites. These campsites are primitive? Oh, but look at that, dude. Look at that platform with the giant chimney.
Yeah, I would if you shared it with us.
Oh. Well, why didn't you let me know it wasn't sharing?
You forgot it was not shared.
Why didn't you let me know, dude? So the ruins are a campsite. I'm glad I'm researching this. Look at that, though. That is so cool. That'd be a cool campsite.
Is that a
No.
campsite or is an old witch house that was demolished?
No, that's a campsite. I don't know if this will this look at this.
Oh.
And obviously, I mean, maybe it is, you know, some ruins from something, but they've turned it into a campsite that they call ruins 1 and 2, I see here. Oh, I'm intrigued by that, man.
Because I just said that because when they suspected something, they would burn the house, and the only thing that would remain would be that.
Dude, this is so cool right here. This is a beautiful campsite, and this is truly in the middle of nowhere. To hike in here would be something else, and then camp. It's even got a platform. Keep the bugs away, dude.
The
I'm all
platform
about that.
keeps the bugs away.
Well, I mean, it helps, yeah, for sure. Sleeping up on the wood platform versus on the ground.
What kind of bugs do you have in the United States that don't know how to climb that tiny platform?
Well, you know, they're not gonna hunt you out. Surely it keeps snakes away. You know, the fire does
Ring
that.
of fire with petrol around it.
Yeah. That's what I do carry fatwood for, man. You know, you just throw that in a fire and because of all the terpenes in it. You know, they make turpentine out of that shit, and it will just run everything away. Okay, so I did learn something about the ruins. The ruins are a campsite. So cool. All right, what are the rules? There are porta potties. Yeah, that's back at the tower. The tower also had a well with running water that was super cold and delicious. Jacob agreed. Check-in time is 1 p.m. Check out all items must be carried in or carried out. Well, I understand that. How long is the hike? You got the map? Where's the maps, dude? No, they don't have the maps. But I'm all about that. All right, let's
so
get.
they show you the campsite, but not the trails you have to do.
That's what I'm saying. Where? Let's see. Sycamore Shelter. Learn the history. All right. So. Learn the history of Flag Mountain. Hey, I'll share. I know. Share. Oh, it's a PowerPoint. Look at that.
I'm not. Oh yeah. No.
I know.
Now
You will. You will. I'm going to double check our live feed since we've been told that was slightly off as well.
No, it's because I was out and it did something weird when it was just you and the screen share.
So this is what is this? Historic district boundary. Documented the park. Are you seeing this PDF, bro?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me zoom in. Switch to PowerPoint understanding. Where is the zoom button? There, it's up top. That's right. Oh, they spelled it wrong. It's Weegufka. See, here it is right down here on the map. Weegufka. Historic zone. Zoom in a little more. Again, out in the middle of nowhere is what makes me so happy. I gave a nice little talk there at the end about how when I went and I sat by one of these trails and man, I was pulled, just wanting to go. But, of course, didn't bring the camping gear. All right. Resources. Both the north and south roads were once part of the park. That's not history. How long is this thing? Where do I see total page? 94 pages. Okay. So somewhere in here should be a trail map, I would think. Oh, abandoned shelters. Okay, all your cabins.
That's the tower. That's
Yep,
the-
okay. That's the actual site. Here it would seem where the cabins are. There we go. There's one of the ruins sites. This part is significant to state history as one of the earliest CCC projects within Alabama and the integral role the CCC played in the continued development and preservation of Alabama state lands. Weegufka State Park is also significant to state history for the opportunities it offered not only out-of-state enrollees but locally employed men. So this is back in period of significance spans from 1933 to 1936.
No word of this is occupied by natives?
Yes, most definitely, man. You can see signs all over, for sure. This whole area, both officially, is known for its stone, I guess what some people might call walls, but aren't precisely walls. You're familiar with these, more like it was one of the episodes of Lost America. In fact, they were talking about these again, and then you go off the first-hand accounts of the chroniclers, right, which describe so many. Did you hop off when I was describing how many? They said when they passed through Coosa's territory, were you on when I was given that number? That it took them about 23 days, movement. So I don't know how many days, that they weren't counting, I guess, days they say still, I don't know. But their point was that on many of those days, they passed through 10 or 12 towns on the road. And they said there were often also many more smaller towns, which could have mean, a few families further off what they called the road, right? So large numbers of people through here. So this is giving us history on the Civilian Conservation Corps, which is what built this place, and many of the state park features in this state and others. All right, I thought we were going to get to some sort of actual history, but this is just telling us all about the CCC.
Yeah, it's just a lot of promotion.
Yeah. So let's take it back one. Stop sharing. Let's take it back to hikes and trails. There we go. Let's see if a commercial site for trails wants to show us a map of the trails.
So the official site doesn't have it, but the commercial site will.
Well, perhaps Alabama's recreational trails. No, I don't want to give my location. Why do you want my location so I can see your map? See, that's why.
Yeah,
That's why
you
it's
press
let
the
me in.
button and 2 seconds after, ding dong.
Yeah, exactly. I don't, all right, I'm gonna try one more site because I know we got people watching. So let's look at, is all trails gonna work for me? I'm actually a member. Yeah, best trails near Flag Mountain. Here we go. Use Control Plus. Okay. Share screen. Flag Mountain. Here we go. Okay. So, are you you seeing
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of it? Yeah. Continue as Jason. Yep. Okay. I'll stop sharing. In case he wants my password. Confirm. Boom. Okay. Shh. Yes. Nope. Don't want any trials. Thank you. And right back to share screen. Flag Mountain. Okay. So, Coosa Wildlife Management Area, that's where yeah, okay, so plus, right. So now we can see, this is the Pinhote Trail, so the green highlights are the trail. And that's going to run all the way up to the Appalachian, but right around the tower here, these 7 miles of trails.
So the trail goes, is that a cliff? Because it looks like the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, look how, so I mean it really is how sharply this mountain dives off on either side. It reminds one of like a fort, really. It's pretty cool, sort of walking it, and as you walk down the front of it, right, sort of, which is right here where the switchback trail is, you can just watch it on either side dive off from you as you go down.
A little
But yeah,
bit.
that's a trail, man. The one going all the way.
Yeah, no, go to the middle of that.
Okay.
Up a bit. Continue to follow the trail to the right. You see that bit over there, how you have a stream, and then
Yes, the Wagufka Creek.
it looks like it goes down in there. What
Oh,
is
like
it?
there, the cliff. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's the cliffs and what you would describe as a cliff are all through this landscape. You see them driving up, especially as you pass the Coosa River. You can just look to either side, right? Straight up. Some of them exposed rock, right, and some of them still covered with some earth and possible diluvial, deposits. I don't know. From flooding, at least according to somebody like Randall Carlson. But yeah, you can see that all through this landscape, and the Pinhote Trail runs that ridgeline right there.
No, and yeah, it was the river. You can see what the water has done before. Yeah. Now it's small, but it used to be a big one.
Yeah, tiny little creek. So anyway, the map we saw, I'll remember to do that. The tower is right way down in there, right? And then those cabins we were looking at,
So where do you come
they're off
from
in here.
with the car? Where does it?
So with a car, I was able to get to a parking lot. I followed dirt roads, right? And I was able to, well, let me zoom out to where it's showing that switchback. Yeah, there. Okay. Right here. You see where it says P down here?
No, yeah.
Okay. So I was able to take what they call CCC Camp Road right here. That's this road right here. And in the video, I showcase that drive here. I can show a sneak peek of that video. Let's do that since I'm showing you the whole map now. Let me go to my YouTube page. Not that one. Let's go to this one. And let's go to back channel content.
Are there any bears, anything in this area, or?
Yes. So you're gonna have some bears. You're gonna have large wildcats. You're gonna have coyotes. Okay. So first time on Flag Mountain is the one. All right. Share this tab instead. And here's our video. You see that sign at the bottom? No, I don't know if you can read it, but it says Weekufka Mule Day. I have no idea.
Oh, it's probably
You
when
see,
they bring the donkeys and allow people.
probably the first Saturday in April. Yeah, it's way out in the middle of nowhere. It's so cool. I believe I give you a little bit. I'm just gonna show you a few. Here's a view from the top. The little switchback trail I was on. See how abruptly it rises from the landscape, and then there's a little farmhouse down there for perspective, right?
Jacob.
And Jacob and I stopped. That's Hatchet Creek, which everybody's familiar with. I've done many videos from here. Little sites along the way. Yeah, beautiful. One of the original signs. This is right before you start that road I was showing you, right?
Just beginning the ascent up to Flag Mountain. It says 1-lane bridge ahead. Let's see, it is the, can't see, Ashley Dene Butler Memorial Bridge.
The part you couldn't see was the bridge will break down.
Hey, Jacob, this is why you like the back way, man. He's like, I know, let me out.
And then, see, this is the road.
Oh,
And from right here,
red dirt's in there.
good shot
At the very beginning, yes.
at how it's falling off.
Look at the cliff.
As we nearer and nearer the peak, and then here you
See, it's just all rock.
outcroppings, stone. Of what we are climbing.
I find some very interesting
of
things in
that.
these rocks on the way down. I stop and look at them, so I'll save that teaser really look at this whole thing. But yeah, this is that road I was just showing you, the CC Camp Road. It's dirt road, and you see these giant rocks as we make it to the top of the mountain. Or on our way to
Just
the
a
top.
big pile of that stuff.
Jason looking at you saying, is he looking at rocks again? Move on. I want to get up.
Right. Move on. So anyway, yeah, that's a little teaser for that video. And there's lots of photography I worked in as well. You can see here the abandoned trailer I saw on the way back. You know, I really love. I've even got 6 minutes, man, that I filmed on the way up that I didn't include, and I'll probably, I'm sure, put out somehow. The problem is because I took dirt roads going up, so I didn't realize while I was recording, driving very slow on the dirt road, that something in my car was just, you know, because I was on the dirt road. So that's like all you freaking hear while I'm like showing you scenery and looking at pretty stuff. And so I didn't include that 6 minutes in the video.
Some kind of toy that started to work by its own? Or?
Just something in my cup holder, you know what I mean? Because I was on a gravel road, right? So
Why would you kept that kind of toy on the cup holder?
it's probably just changed, man. Well, Jacob, it might have been his leash for all I know. But I don't think the video. I think. Let me see if it's synced. Let's see if my iCloud is synced already. I don't think I've been here enough time for it to. But if it has, I will have the very video to show you, and you can hear. It's great video, and I really wanted to open with it.
Well, if you're not talking, just put music on it.
Well, yeah, but I'm not that fancy. How do you do that?
Or just do a voiceover. You can do that easily.
Well, maybe like with your skill set. That is why I. Oh, look, there is some here. There is some here. Okay, so maybe that one hasn't uploaded yet because it was a long one. It was a 6-minute one. Yeah, there are some of them. Let's see if there's any I didn't use in the video in here. No, everything in here I used. So we'll wait and show you that on the show. But here soon, that video will be uploaded, and I'm going to post it somehow because it's beautiful, just showing you the back roads of Alabama. Oh, here's an outhouse. You want to see an outhouse?
A nut house?
No, an outhouse.
Oh, an owl. So it was a nut house.
You know, an outhouse. That's right there.
Oh, he's
Up
waiting
sort of.
for his turn. Very polite.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Jacob,
very polite. That's Jacob waiting for his turn. Yeah, it's beautiful. It was beautiful up there today. Look at this. I saw
Oh.
this flower up there. That was incredible. And let's see.
She's
on the left.
having an argument with itself. I'm pink. No, I'm yellow. No, I'm pink.
It was. There's Mount Moriah. What is that? Baptist Church. It looks very much like it's kind of on a mound. I'd already driven past it, and I turned back around to get a shot of it. I think that mountain up there in the background is possibly Flag Mountain. In the video, I have a really cool shot driving up where you can just barely see this sky, the watchtower, from the very bottom. It was a really cool shot. Look forward to showing this video off tomorrow. It was fun. I really learned a lot. What was really cool for just myself, man, was having already, invested so much in sort of the area of Hatchet Creek, meaning just exploration-wise, using LIDAR, finding anomalies, and exploring over these years to then drive straight through that terrain, see that indeed it is these piles of rock, as I've already established in these videos, for evidence over and over again, climbed them, documented, and they grow until you get to this Flag Mountain, which is just a bigger representation. And there's metal in these rocks too. There's all kinds of weird shit, dude. I found, man, melted patterns and just all that usual fun stuff that one starts to find as you venture northward up towards Lookout Mountain in the very north of Alabama. I need a paraglider. Is that what you said, Sarah?
No.
Oh,
sir.
the paraglider from Zelda. Yeah, I do. I really do. That would help me in and out of these places a whole lot. There is a dude here in Prattville. I guess Prattville and Millbrook. He rides around. He's got one of those paragliders with this, like a big box fan, on the back of a parachute. You don't even need a license for those things, man. And he will ride around and get down like on the main state highway, at sunset, and just start buzzing right next to cars. It looks so fun. It looks so dangerous, but it looks so fun.
Well, you keep showing us rivers. Might be boring for most, but
What might be boring?
this is we keep talking about how the ancients used the rivers as highways to transport things. So in Portugal, the river that goes close to the property that we have there is called the Tagus, and this Tagus has what they call the Royal Channel. So it's not the river itself. They created lots and lots of channels that brings water from the river to the fields, and one of those, and the biggest channel of them, is where the merchandise would come all the way from Spain and would circle all the way down until Lisbon. And so there are houses along the way that tax the people that coming with the merchandises. And one of those places is this in here. I'm not as proficient as Jason on the screen share, but
Stop. I am not proficient. That is for certain.
okay, so this is just, it's not a river, this is just a channel of the main river, okay? And this platform here is already part of what is called the Queen's Palace. And it was actually a Queen's Palace and a tax point for goods that were going down to Lisbon. So that's the royal house there, where the tax people would come out to check every single merchandise. The pier, as you can see, because it's, I don't know, 600 years old, it's sunken down into the mud of the river. You can see that
Yeah.
This used to be straight. It's no longer straight.
These are your pictures, yeah? This is great.
The day was terrible.
Oh, that
My camera can't deal with no sun. So
no, I like the vibe, man. I like it. It's slightly creepy. I like slightly eerie, you know?
so
That's
they say don't go in because it's in risk of falling down. You see, there is a very rich guy made a project to transform this into what they call historical tourism, right? Had this huge project to transform this into a hotel and spa and so on and so forth. Because you have to do about 4 miles of terrible roads to get to this point, and then you get to an avenue that is like half a mile of palm trees going to the house. It's typically 16th century royal stuff. You see that the palm trees are still there. And I don't know if I have a picture of this, but it's all grown brushes around the palace now. You can see that it's taking it, and you can see how long it is. This is the side that it's according to the plan. This is the where the coaches would go in. It doesn't look that big, but it is big.
yeah, it just looks like a little round portico.
Yeah. So, but the stones survived all these years. Some of them are starting to fall down to the river.
Mm-hmm.
One of the pontoons, is
Oh,
that
look
how
at
you call
that.
it in English?
No,
You see, all of these
pier-
are pontoons that
piers?
piers, yeah, where the boats would stop for the merchandise to be scanned and then taxed.
Docks, piers,
Dock,
either, yeah,
yeah.
either or.
They are now in the middle of the channel, and nature is growing on top of it.
Go back. I want to show you what a pontoon is in English. Go back.
One
back.
more?
Yeah, one more. Okay, zoom in on the dock. Okay, all right. Okay, on the square part at the end, where like
This?
you would jump off. Yeah, zoom in on that. Okay, you see how they got something plastic under it for that shit to float on?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a pontoon.
Okay.
Okay, so when you have what we call pontoon boats that are very popular on the lakes and rivers and stuff around here. They're just these big round tubes. Like imagine if you took a 55-gallon.
Oh, I've seen a few here. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's more of a flotation device.
In here, a pontoon would be a huge blocks of stone into the water to break the water. It's what
So-
makes marinas. The marinas is protected by pontoons, so it's
I
just a
see.
problem, language difference. So it's
Exactly. Yeah. No, I got that. I was just teaching you because nobody ever may take the time to explain pontoon to you.
thank you very much.
They're big around here. You're gonna come visit. You need to know when people are going, "Hey, go get on the pontoon." You know, you need to know what to look for.
So this is right where the Queen's boat would stop. So this
I
would
see.
be what would be used to stop her to grab her boat. Me trying to be artistic. Sorry about that.
I do it all the time. I love trying to
Some
be
strange
artistic.
holes here that probably metal things that were grabbed in here.
Wearing
and
those
you
shit
see the-
kickers, I see.
Yeah. It's actually all coming down. Oh, my mama's car. I took a picture of it.
69 tag number. Look at that.
What?
You can see 69.
Oh yeah.
Double A. So 1169 QJ.
So this is the driveway. The palm
Write that
trees
number
start
down.
around there, all the way into the horizon. This is they're showing where we are, and this you see the river, and this is the channel where they had to go in, come here to be taxed, and then continue and come back to the river again. If this looks like a strange language, it's called Portuguese. They didn't care to put it in two languages.
So the message embedded in your mother's tag is regarding the completion of a significant phase, urging you to focus on your spiritual journey over any material worries. It indicates you're reaching the end of a specific cycle, perhaps relationship or career. It is time to embrace new beginnings with optimism. Anticipate for new things is the overriding message. Work smart with determination to succeed. Well, we know that. That's what we're doing.
You took that from a license plate?
I did.
Okay. What is that called? What is that divination called?
So some people, I guess, would call it numerology, but I don't get that far into it. I don't. I don't make a study or a habit or anything like that. I use it as a in the moment, real time way to communicate with higher dimensions. Man, is one way to simply look at it. It also it works simply as a really numerology. Sarah probably is much more knowledgeable in general than I am. I have a few methods I use when numbers come to me. Usually, once or twice a day. Sometimes none. It just depends. I'll take the signal and I'll see what message is waiting in there for it. And yeah, that's all. It's just one of my little practices.
Okay. I didn't know this had so family photos, but this is about 30 minutes from the property. It's called Santarém. It's one of the oldest places in Portugal in terms of construction, because it's right at the beginning of the conquest to the Moors. And this is all built on top of a hill. It's not a big hill. Everything is built here, and they have about 40 churches.
All right.
Each one for one section of the Templars. So
Sarah says, hey, hang on. I'm sorry. I'm totally interrupting you.
No.
But before we close the window on numbers, Sarah says it's a conversation, and there you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's what you say about it. All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Everything has meaning. I don't doubt it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it, man.
So this is like a crime.
Everything's a burning bush.
Yeah. This is from 11th to 13th century, and they are plastering the wall, so we don't see the stones or the marks that the stones have, but they leave the corners for some reason.
Look at you posing with the puffer on. Nice fits.
Yeah.
Nice fits.
Small narrow streets as medieval style, because this is all from on top of 11th century buildings.
It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are, not trying to be artistic, but being.
Yeah. I was trying not to say it.
You were being. There's no try, do or do not.
Well, but people are not watching a selection. I'm just passing through the old pictures of the day.
Sarah said it was 9/11 when we were talking about numbers.
Yeah.
That's my girl.
This church here.
Oh, look, Sarah, look, 33% is what he zoomed in at. All right, keep going. Sorry.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So this church doesn't look much when you look from the outside, right? And I'm hoping that the next picture is the inside. I'm hoping.
No.
But we'll get there. This is from the
strange
same church.
peacock.
Yeah, it's from the same church. And it has a nest in there, you see it?
Yeah, I see. The birds were managed, even though they put the anti-pigeon stuff up.
Okay, this is the inside.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah.
And these columns, I cannot tell you, they are enormous and all sculpted and painted. What's now on the chat?
Sarah's battery is at 44%. Okay, sorry.
Let me see if I have this closer. I think I put one of my daughters as a scale.
I see.
But the thing is, they are extremely tall. And of course, he has to have a pipe organ for the right frequencies. You see that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't go to 7.
Well, I mean, well, let's see. How many layers do we have of the cake? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then whatever's on top makes 6.
6. There's the 6 is on top.
Divided by 2, we're back to 3s. There we go, multiples thereof. What is that? Huh, a little triangle at the top.
It's an A.
It's an A for
Yeah,
what?
A, letter A. It's a capital A on
No, I
the
understand.
cloud.
It is gorgeous. What is this? What do you know what the A stands for?
I have no idea.
Huh.
This is all Templar stuff. So this is actually gold paint.
Oh, it looks kind of like a grail or a candle there on that
Yeah.
front door.
Oh, I had both my daughters. You see now the columns, how thick they are?
Yeah, they're huge.
And that has a texture. It's not paint. The paint is on top of a carving. So it has texture.
A relief, I see.
Yeah. And there it was 14 apostles.
Right,
Two were not at the table.
Exactly.
A curious figure of what I presume is a green man.
What'd they say? What Jesus's real flex was being a man in his early 30s and having 12 actual close friends.
Okay, now it's getting weird.
Right? How did you manage that, man?
12 friends, a prostitute,
Mm-hmm.
and a leopard.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is
Yeah.
no longer a leopard anymore.
All the outcasts, all the nobodies, all the people that they're the ones you want to be with. They're the cool people. They're the ones that actually help you. All that good stuff.
Sarah wants me to go back. Go back where, Sarah? Tell me where you go. To the yay? Let me know if that's it. You see how tall this? Go back.
The
to
one with the painting?
Painting.
Yeah.
Oh, this one
This
or the
one?
next one? I think he means this one.
You mean the Last Supper or the Mermaid Man here?
It's very much like a Dionysius or a Green Man.
Yeah, it looks feminine, except obviously for, it's got the male torso and male, pectoral. But everything sort of about it, other than that, looks very feminine.
Yeah, you have to understand that these churches were Templar before they were Christian.
Right. She wants the Last Supper, by the way. Yeah, that one. Who's holding the
Yeah,
knife?
I know. There's one of them is bald. I know that's what she meant, okay? It's only one that has no hair.
That's true. There's one with, how many with no beards? 2 with no beards. And 1 with no hair. So that's 3 in total that are not fully haired. Other than that, they all look very similar. What you want to spy, Sarah? The goblet in front of him is black, and there's actually gold stuff on the table, and they're all wearing, I guess, dressed in gold. That's interesting. Huh.
So one of the knives is pointing
Pointing
at you,
towards one
and the other
away,
one is pointing out.
and it forms like a little triangle right there. Yeah.
And you have I presume this is for Judas,
I don't know. Food.
but there's no
Well,
food
no,
on
look,
it.
there's Judas down there with his money bag. That's what they're trying to say. Look down at the end, probably. You see how the guy to the left has a money pouch on all the way at the end on the left, other side,
Oh, other side.
left looking at the screen.
Oh,
See?
there, and he's looking
Uh,
suspicious.
He's looking over.
Oh, he's pointing with his son.
Yeah.
He's pointing to the bag.
Yeah. See, I'm always gonna argue this whole Judas thing, man, because when you know, have you ever read the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Gospel of Judas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
long ago.
it's a much different story, you know. It's and it's one that I think reads more true. And for those not familiar, it's that at that table there, Jesus asked the question, you know, who among you really knows who I am? Who among you really knows where I come from, right? You know, something to that order. And nobody does anything except for Judas. Judas just raises his hand, just goes right up to him. I know who you are, and I know where you really come from. And, you know, I'm just totally shorthanding it here. And then Christ takes him aside, and he says, I know. And that's why you have to be the one to do this, okay? You gotta turn me over. You gotta set me up. You need to go in there and make a deal. We're gonna make a plan. You're gonna turn me over, right? That to me just makes so much more logical sense than having everything, you know, having the whole plan of a creator hinge upon one greedy little dude. It seems much more, not only fulfilling, but it fits much more my sort of experience as just the way God might move in the world, right? Is more like that. So I like that story much better. So I don't think he'd be looking all like, you know, because the way that story goes is the, you know, offing of himself was because he couldn't live with what, you know, his task was. His task was to be loyal enough and brave enough to do that. And then once that was done, he himself couldn't handle it. You know, he wanted to get on up out of here.
How about this? This is there. It's this in
So you
here.
got the skull and crossbones, right? Now, with that cross, is that somehow Templaric? The skull and crossbones with I mean, where I don't know. I know I'm like everybody else. I probably think pirate flag. You know, when I see those skull and crossbones.
Yeah, but I tried to ask the lady that was there. She had no proper answer. She said, "Oh, it's just the what do you call this? Not the brazen is." What do you call these things in English? What's the name of this? It's like what you brand the horse or
the seal, the crest,
the crest.
seal?
Yeah, that's the crest. The crest.
Right, correct.
Yeah. So this is the 5 leaders of the army of the Templar army. So it's the 5 armies against the 7 Moor areas.
I got it.
And it's still used today. It's still used today. This is when it was renovated. 1602.
Mm-hmm.
This is right up in the ceiling, so you can barely read it from down. And it's called the Church of Mercy.
Yeah. Oh, one of the most beautiful examples of Renaissance architecture in the city, Mercy Church constitutes a perfect example of the large hall churches. The interior is richly ornamented with grotesques on the columns and on the ribbings of the vaulted ceiling. Besides the paintings and sculptures, the frescoes in the sacristy and the small museum area are also of significant interest. Oh,
Like this one.
I like that.
Now this is just the thing that was on the wall. I said, I have to take a picture of this.
It's beautiful. I love it.
It's
That's
on
the
a
kind of
monument.
art when I, you know, when I've got my little log cabin on top of one of these mountains by one of these streams. That's about the only type of art I'd want to see walking around. That's so cool, man.
That's the other church that we went to visit there. This panel is just amazing. And I caught a pigeon.
Yeah, and perfect timing too. I caught a lot of buzzards today. Vultures. There were a lot of those flying around the top of Flag Mountain today.
And you'll see that this church is completely Arabic. So it was there before the 11th century. by the Arabs. Oh, I'm already inside, but I'll take more pictures. So all of these are famous people that are buried in this place. Interesting designs. The guy had a funny head. If he
I
fit
see
it in.
that. Yeah, a very cartoonish sort of head there. But of course, with a griffin on top of all those balls.
Yeah. This is Latin for those who can read.
I took one semester.
So this area, a nave, this nave, do you have nave in English?
See?
Like this hall
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nave's good. Portico.
is
Portcullis.
more or less, I can't read it all, but it's more or less dedicated to the souls of purgatory via, I can't read it all.
Ostos almosto.
In terra outra pessoa nem eles por aule trero nas sepulturas. So something on the
Sepulturas, yeah.
on the sepultures. Is that how you say in English?
Yes. Well, in English, it would be sepulchres. Anyway, sepultures.
Yeah.
Sed vi. So now, all I really remember from Latin, other than
For their brotherhood. Okay, so 16,000. Sorry, 1626
1626. Yeah.
of brotherhood at this point. It's another tomb.
Ooh.
This is one a small niche. This is all made in tiles,
I see.
hand painted.
Yeah.
Two of them. This is not fallen down. This is actually stolen.
Oh,
They had to stop like 20 years ago. People were stealing this like crazy because it was getting enormous amounts of money by a tile that just say where it was and people would pay enormous amounts of money for these things. Even in buildings in Lisbon, they were stealing them.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. I didn't notice your comment. She said someone is leaning the wrong way from the original.
Oh, yeah,
Lord's
on the
Supper
original.
painting. I didn't notice that. Sorry.
Now, this is the people that paid, his husband and wife that paid Álvaro Cabral to find Brazil. The people that are buried here.
Really?
It's the people that gave him the money for him to put in those small ship, and he ended up in Brazil. Right? The funny thing is, the guy that discovered Brazil, that's not the guy. This isn't it. That's my daughter that is in China. So you see how rich. Oh yeah, the guy that actually discovered is this guy. Is on the small corner of the church. This is the guy that discovered Brazil. So
Yeah.
this is the one who paid it,
That's who paid for it. Yep.
and this is the guy that found it.
That did it. Yep. That's about right. That sums it up.
But this is very richly carved. It's just magnificent.
It really is.
And this is all marble, so it's not plaster. It's actually marble.
Hmm.
So they are on top of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lions.
Hmm.
You have these stars. These names, I couldn't read it anymore. I don't know if they say Elohim or not. These huge crowns can be seen. I don't know what they represent, but they can be seen in lots and lots of monuments of this time. It's weird. On top of the churches' doors.
That's where I recognize those from. Is like, it looks like what's usually from ceilings and stuff in some of these older churches.
So this is the back of it. You have this like this phantom double lizard. You see a lizard here, but then there's another on top. This is a weird,
like a
weird
dinosaur
lizard.
head. Yeah. Very strange.
So
Pedro Alvarez Cabral,
yeah, Dona
1520.
Isabel de Castro.
1538.
You have it in English here. It's
Here lie
written in
Pedro Alvarez Cabral and Don Isabella de Castro, his wife, to whom, along with all her heirs, this chapel belongs, and who, after death of her husband, was chief lady in waiting to Donna Maria, daughter King. What's that?
Don Juan the Third.
Dom Joie. Got it.
It's Don John. It's like Don John.
It's like an N. Okay.
So this is the guy
That's
that
beautiful
found
writing.
Brazil. Yeah,
That's beautiful writing there. I like
Yeah.
just the style of that.
it's all Gothic. It's all like this.
Yeah, I like it how there's, I don't know, it looks almost like typeset, but except for every few words, there's something sort of, the lines swirl in her grand gestures. It's very strange looking, but I like it.
I was seeing if I had it in better writing, but better picture of that. That's another area of the chapel. It's all inside the same chapel. Can't also read this. I took this with the idea of put this in AI, but I never did it.
There's a 33 in the middle.
Sorry?
There's a 633 in the middle. The 33 stood out. Then I see this.
Yeah, so it's December
South 7. Weird stuff. Those are
December
dates?
6th of 33.
I see. Okay.
And in here, this plate is on 1637. There are big tombs in here. So this is for Dom João Luís de Menezes e Vasconcelos, 1633, and Dona Maria de Castro, 1637. So she lasted 4 years. This one is for 1525. (1633, 1637). And this one is daughter of the people that founded this monastery. It's still the same weird, deformed.
Must have been an intentional thing, no doubt.
Another tomb on the floor. Which I think is something that doesn't happen in America, because when you go to a church in Portugal, you are most likely stepping on tombs because they would bury them on the floors of churches.
No, it's not standard in America's graveyard. I mean, for the most part, unless
No,
it's
important people. They would bury important people or monks under the floor of the church to keep them in sacred ground.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's not so much a thing over here at all. You might have some mausoleums, but again, those are not going to be a church. Those are more of a dedicated building in which they'll put them in the walls. You know what I mean? Yeah, but still
So
not
this-
on the floor.
This is what you see from the author. And keep in mind that panel, this is how you see the panel from the inside. So very narrow space compared to the size of this. And to
It
the
is.
side. And the monastery, you have stairs somewhere around here, and the monastery is all to the left, which
I
you
like
don't have
the
access to.
I like the piece of blue in the middle of the window. That's very nice.
So, but it looks quite different from the inside than it does from the outside.
Hmm.
It's me trying to get it better. Another tomb, a water basin.
See,
This is from the outside.
Oh, wow. It is quite different, eh?
It's beautiful. This panel, this
It really is.
structure here, it's beautiful. And here you can see how it is completely Moorish.
With the, yep.
So when they say that they found the monastery, they didn't found anything. They found the place. They didn't found it anything. They found this place when they kicked the Moors out, and they transformed it. But they kept everything.
Well, you don't think the okay? So they kicked them out. I was going to say, since this is all Templar, you don't think the Moorish influences they picked up from the Crusades, from being in the Middle East and then brought it back with them?
No, because
No.
they reached this place about 400 years before that. So
Got it.
they started their invasion around 600 BC, year 600, right? And so this is already in 1100. It's called Santa Maria de Graça, which means Saint Mary of Grace. I don't know if I have anything. This is one, oh, you can see it. It's one of the oldest churches there.
There's Mom's car again. 1169.
Yeah, well,
QJ.
I don't want to. What is this? It's the same church. I have the same church here, so I don't want to.
Your mom's tag also urges you to be more ambitious and anticipate incredible things. Also, work smarter with determination to succeed.
I will.
Very good. Me too. Doing it. Damn it.
I'll take the advice. So
Work
Well,
smarter, not harder.
we got to 1 hour 40. What
We
else?
did,
What
yeah.
else do we have?
We saw various pieces of the world. We took a look at. I don't know if there's anything else I have. We didn't look at LIDAR, but that would be kind of pointless. We can do that later since we already covered Flag Mountain. I was going to look at the LIDAR vet. That was the only tab I still had open that I didn't use. So I think we're there, man, I suppose. What else do you have? Go see Sarah and Jacqueline at the Universe Unveiled. Please like, follow, subscribe, all of that stuff. They just hit, what was their mark? 270 subscribers. Congratulations, ladies. You're 100 ahead of me.
Let me see if this works. One of the things I'm scanning and digitizing now, it's called The Voice of Ancient Earthworks. And I saw an article, I don't know if it's volume 1, let me see if it's number 1 or number 2, that has information where James Shears wrote a small piece about how to determine true north without a compass. Let me see if this opens before it's... Yeah, but carry on.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying looking at the LiDAR of this mountain real quick while you find what you want to pull up. All right, we need, what is it, 3 depth. Hillshade, why not?
No, it's not this one. It's number 2, maybe.
This is not going to load. We got too much going on. Too much going on, man. There we go. That's what I want to go back to look at. Is that little bend. Am I with you? Did I drop? Did Did I drop? No, Ricardo dropped. Did Ricardo drop? Looks like Ricardo dropped. All right, we're going to keep looking at LIDAR while we wait. See, I'm going to go see what this is about. There comes Ricardo back.
Yeah,
Let's
as
see
soon
what
as I
this
try
is about.
to do something that requires network.
Oh, look, there's a little feeder creek or feeder spring that's going to come down here into this bigger one. You can see all the boulders carrying themselves down. Look at how all the boulders are here on one side of this thing. That's interesting. So this terrain is, you can go on and on. It's kind of like some of those. Oh, but look at how the rocks are just here, boom, and then here, boom. That's intriguing. Do you see how I can get lost in the woods every single day? I just... Look, man, see, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Once you know you're out in the middle of nowhere, you know, some of this stuff, like, what is this terracing going on? This, you know, there's no farm currently right there. So, you know, what is that mess? That's... We'd have to pull up the right. I mean, you know, it's just, I love this landscape.
Yeah.
Where is Hatchet Creek? Oh, you got stuff you want to show us. See, I'm gonna get lost, man.
No, continue.
You can
I'm
just
still
do
looking
this.
for it.
Oh,
Continue.
you're still looking good. There are so many anomalies in this landscape. If this thing would hurry up and load for us. And you can see out, we're truly in the middle of nowhere. There's some more of that terracing, it looks like, happening right there. There's some happening right there. Where is, just keep coming south. Yeah, Swamp Creek, where it runs into Hatchet Creek. You see, man, this landscape with these piles of stuff. So the first anomaly I found in this area that really catches your attention. You gonna load? Just holler when you're ready over there, man. Because this thing is being very slow with all we got going on. And you sort of keep coming in and out. So maybe I should close it. Let's close something else. Let's close that. And let's close that. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, but I wasn't looking at the map. That's the problem with this. So that's Hatchet Creek. Great. And then that's Swamp Creek. This is what I want to see. Perfect. One more load for me. So
I'm just going to try one more time. See if I can do it. Otherwise,
do your thing, man.
it's only 33 megabytes. I don't understand why it takes... Oh, okay. Let me see if this is the one. You can carry on.
Oh, I am. I'm trying to locate one of the first anomalies I found that sort of really touched off all of these little hills and mounds. So I'm just filling air for you. But these strange patterns, man, you can start to get in here, like, you know, and see why are there these cracks and these crevices, you know, coming out from a central location when especially there's no sign of water on one side of it. Things like this get very interesting. Where's the cross? There's a cross on top of a mountain up here. That's the depressions make a cross that I hiked my ass to one day. My eyes aren't finding it right now. Plus, I don't remember how far up it was. You can go cross-eyed looking at this landscape as well. But that is an interesting one there, how those patterns radiate out on all four sides. That's pretty cool. You see that happening again up here. Here's this water source. These are like little caves, been all up in here. You found what you're looking for, bros?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm just, I'm, I could do this all night on my own. I do sometimes. Anyway, take over whenever.
Okay. So this is the ones that I'm scanning at the moment. I only have one more to do of this. And this is from November 21, 1985, volume 1, number 3. And on page 11, there we go. Let me see if you can read this for all of us. Let me try and make this bigger as much as I can. I don't think you can.
Hang on, let me look. I was still on the map. Yeah, I can read that. Tell me where to start. Since The Cross and the Eastern Sky by James P. Shears. Since Dr. Gary and Louise Mayer have requested that I write a brief article on how a surveyor keeps track of where the sun rises, I shall attempt to respond with this short paper. It all begins with a cross. The cross on a flat surface divides the horizon into the 4 cardinal directions. Scroll down. North, south, east, and west. We will begin with cross. Go back up. You can zoom out one if you want, man. I can read a little. It all begins with a cross. The cross on a flat surface divides the horizon. What are you doing? Into the
I'm
4
trying.
Pull it out a little bit. I can probably read it all. Pull it out. Pull it out. You can pull it out some more. Zoom out.
You have to understand that this is online, so it's taking time for me to move. When I want to move, it doesn't move. Can you read it now?
We will begin by defining the true north-south legs of the cross. The true north pole in the sky is the point around which all northern stars seem to rotate. This point can be approximated by using the North Star. But the North Star is not exactly at the North Pole of the heavens. It rotates about the pole on a circle that is about 1 thumb's width in diameter when the thumb is held at arm's length. The average thumb's width subtends an angle of about 2 degrees.
Oh, it's this one. That's why I was not being able to pull it down.
We can define true north by setting 2 sticks in the ground, which can be used like gun sights to point to the North Star. If we stay out all night, 1 stick must be continually moved to keep it in line with the North Star. If next morning we take the mean point where our moving stick was placed in the ground and align this point to the other stick, we now have a true north-south line on the ground within the error limits of the crude method we used. Furthermore, the vertical angle between the North Star and the northern horizon defines our latitude, how far we are north of the equator in degrees, north or south. This angle can also be preserved by the tips of our pointed sticks and can be measured from the tips of the sticks to the horizon in the morning. With a north-south line determined on the ground, we can use a rope as we used a compass in grade school to create a 90-degree angle or right angle. This defines true east, true west. The rising sun will come up directly along our eastern line on only 2 days of the year, the equinoxes. The origin of the Christian Easter is related to the spring equinox. This is the day that the sun passes over the equator. Calendar-wise, it relates
The
to
Passover. I never read it like that. It's the Passover.
Yeah. Passover in the Jewish faith. Using the sunrise, the Passover, right? Using the sunrise at the equinox is the most accurate way to set a calendar.
Okay, now I have to go all the way. Oh, shit. Here and to the right.
If we were at the equator on the equinox, the sun would rise straight up until it is directly overhead at local noon. But on the summer solstice, it would rise 23.5 degrees north of east, and on the winter solstice, 23.5 south of east. On all days, it would tend to rise essentially vertically from the eastern horizon. See figure 1. Okay, there we go. We've got the equinox, the summer solstice, the winter solstice. So as you're standing there observing, what he's describing, if you're looking at your center or focal point, right, you would see the sun over the course of the year just sort of migrating its way. And then on the equinoxes, it kind of stops, and then it migrates its way back, right?
Back,
Okay.
yeah. He's trying to describe that here from the point
See?
of view.
Yep. Okay. Next paragraph. As we move north of the equator, the sun no longer rises vertically, but its movement is inclined from the vertical by an angle equal to our latitude. This inclination causes the solstice sun to rise at some angle. I forgot that sign. What's that sign? Right there, the little geometrical angle. I forget what that stands for.
Oh, it's the cosine.
Cosine.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So some angle cosine off east, which is greater than 23.5 degrees. For low latitudes, the cosine is approximately 23.5 divided by the cos latitude. Okay?
Which is this confusion here.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're getting more of that instead
Then
of
rise
that.
above
Yeah.
Western Medicine. Is it that what is written?
Eastern horizon when we're at the same northern latitude.
Horizon. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Does it continue? Okay. This is complicated, but we can continue for the angle for B.
The angle for B can be either solved for with a calculator or by 2 rope tricks, which can be included in the geometrical layout of several of our sites. For Madison, where the latitude is 43 degrees, and then he gives the equation, which ends with 33 degrees. There we go, Sarah. The rising sun migrates north and south of the equator and northward and southward along the eastern horizon over a period of approximately 365 days. The rising moon also migrates north and south of the equator but exceeds the swing of the sun by about 5 degrees on each end. The moon's
28.5 then.
Yeah. The moon's cycle of maximum movement takes 19 years. Is that right? Is it 19?
Yeah.
The lunar
Yeah.
cycle? Okay, I thought it was 18. I couldn't remember. Okay. So then there we are with the mathematics okay. So then after he finds the value, a stake set at the 40 degrees 0.7 north or south of east would define a point where the moon would rise only once in 19 years. Note that if we can determine north and our latitude, if we had a rope trick that could create 23.5 degrees and solve for B, then we could check our solar calendar no matter where we may roam on the earth, provided we have a flat surface and can spend a night to define true north. In the process, we can also define our latitude, how far we are north of the equator or south of the North Pole. Also note that Christianity, with its cross and the custom of Easter sunrise services, carries symbols needed to set solar calendars necessary for agricultural economies. It should be no surprise, therefore, that the cross as a religious symbol was found among agricultural Indians of America, as well as among many pre-Christian tribes the world over.
Do you see? A simple explanation. Simple. A simple explanation
Let me
how-
toss this out for you real quick. Right.
So this is, yeah, he says, have requested that I write a brief article. So here it is.
Hey,
So-
what's up, Tammy? Thanks for stopping in during our reading. You were out exploring chambers in New York today. I was out exploring a mountain in Alabama today as well, and I'll do a live stream tomorrow, and we'll look at that. Thanks for joining us, though.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to show this because I
Please.
read it very briefly when I was what's going on to my screen when I was scanning this material. No, don't chew on that. And
He's just gonna do it. What he's gonna do? He's just gonna make his way in here. It's no stopping. Anyway, go ahead. Watch the tail, bro. Watch the tail.
So
Shit back there.
how these mounds are set, how these ancient structures are oriented, and why we see so many, often the presence of equinoxes and solstices, and the importance of how to know latitude and longitude without need of complex instruments, which is the reason they say that we had to wait to 15th century to cross the ocean because we couldn't determine longitude, right? So, and he's showing on this few lines how you, with a few stakes and a piece of rope, you can determine all this, even if you don't understand mathematics. It is easy for mathematics today to explain this, but you could do it abstractly without understanding mathematics also. Yes. So that's why I found it. I thought it was a cool article for me to share in here.
I thought so too. Thank you for sharing. Jacob agrees. It's like, that was really cool, man. Appreciate it. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Huh? Did you have
And
he climbed a mountain today, so.
yeah. And I will let you go for him to go and have his walk.
Yes, he's ready for the evening stretch after climbing the mountain and then having some food and water after exhausting
And
himself.
snore with you in the bed.
He did. He snored it was about an hour drive back, and he was snored the whole way. Takes up the whole back seat of the car. Yeah, Tammy, he does. He just wants love, and then he needs to go out. Yeah, man. Elephant in a china shop. Yes, Sarah, that's him. But he's something, man. You know, going out and doing all this, it's just great to have a companion, you know? And he's a good one. He'll go anywhere. Being all black, though, he is not a fan of the sun. So I've learned that when I go when
We're going to be flagged for racism. I knew it.
Right.
Really.
No, he gets so hot, man. You know, his sun, because, you know, black absorbs the heat and all that, and you can feel his coat. So when I take him somewhere where there's not water, and I'll take the ball to throw or whatever, it becomes a game of shade to shade, you know. He'll throw the ball and he'll run fine in the open field for a second, you know, 3-4 times if sun's overhead. But then immediately it becomes a chase Jacob to the shade with the ball to get it and throw. He'll run out in the sun, grab it, and then run to the other side of the field and sit in the shade. So, but luckily that means he loves water, and so does his dad here. So it's a good pairing. Ain't it, man?
Well,
You happy with the situation? As you eat my chair? Yeah, so he's happy with the situation. He's got something to chew on.
in a very piggy way for Warner Brothers. That's all, folks. So,
That's all, folks. Something along those lines.
how did you react to very quickly, because we're going to the how did you react to the notion that all of those cartoons were considered to be dangerous for children, and we have to take them out of sight because they're dangerous?
It's bad, man. I loved the Looney Tunes. I did. I thought they were hilarious when I was young. You know, I watched them all the time. I mean, I still have memories of gut busting laughter, you know, at Yosemite Sam. And
Yeah, but have you ever felt inclined to grab a bar of dynamite and put it somewhere for your friends? I don't think you have, because it's a
No. I mean, honestly, the dynamite is the one. Like, I remember specifically, I was visiting a friend of mine at like 7, dude, and that Yosemite Sam one comes on where he keeps running from building to building, and each one's loaded with dynamite. And he just keeps re-blowing his ass up. We laughed. We were in a hotel. We laughed so hard we fell off the damn bed, man. Just, you know, and it's like a core memory. No, it did not inspire anything, but
and
me wanting to.
Coyote, too dangerous, because children are trying to do that. They don't realize, because they are still alive after falling. and they're still alive and they don't die. It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
So
It's a different world than the one we grew up in, man.
yeah.
Everybody's so worried about safety and just fear. Fear creeps in so many little ways that wasn't even evident in like the people who raised us. I mean, I was just such a freewheeling childhood that today, most parents would look at and go, "No way, that's dangerous." But that was like just a common Tuesday, for me growing up. But I think that was very healthy, and I was very blessed, and I think that's the way we all should, try to be is free and not bound by the control mechanisms of these systems, which we right now are using to communicate with these folks, but which in their more nefarious uses are quite the control mechanism, and at the heart of much of that is fear. So that's what we like to definitely combat. And I have found one of the best ways to do that is to disengage and get out in nature. And that's why you see me do it so much. And that's why you see me share it so much and encourage you guys to continually do the same. While Jacob chews the chair. So now it's definitely time to walk because that's wood and old. Okay. That was like there was a grandparent involved there, dude.
To end,
Quit
just
chewing.
keep in mind, visit institutefornaturalphilosophy.org. You have Ferris Magazine. Watch Universe Unveiled channel, Institute for Natural Philosophy channel.
Yep. Come find our Institute for Natural Philosophy on Discord if you want to get involved. We've got a nice little Discord channel over there.
Sure. If you are feeling bored, we can get stuff for you to do for sure.
No doubt. Projects abound, or if you just want to connect, with a whole bunch of people that are in there associated with the institute.
Yeah, we need people around. Yeah. Where we need where does Steve needs people? He needs people
in Tennessee, probably.
Yeah, Tennessee. I got that part, but where is our home base?
Knoxville is where he's. Yeah.
Lord. We need people from Knoxville. So if you are from Knoxville, let us know.
And if you're ever in Alabama and want a tour of all this stuff, just let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason is extremely cheap.
Right.
Any $5,000 would give you at least 5 minutes with him.
Dude, right now I am all out of pocket, man. So $50, will probably get you like 4 days of information and tours and places you can't handle. You'll come back dusty and full of ticks and thorns everywhere, looking at people going, there aren't any mountains. They're just not. It's all ruins. It's all, and we'll do it. I'll do it.
The tour will only cost $50.
Right? That's like
The medical treatments will be thousands.
You need a new pair of shoes by the time it's all done. But your paradigm and your narrative will be nicely realigned by the time we are done. I'm certain of that.
You might be slapped with bears.
We got half an hour of thorns. I get in the middle and I'm just looking and it's thorns everywhere and it's thorns that way and it's thorns that way. And I look at him and I say, what do we do now, Jason? He's like, what do you think we do? And we got to keep going, man. And it was another half an hour.
Yeah. You see the cliff over there? That's where we're going to jump into the water.
Right. Exactly. Follow Jacob to the water. He knows he's got to stay cool. He's been half an hour in the sun, and he will find water for us, guys. I swear. He really will too. He's like a little water hound, man. When he gets a little warm, he's like, "Fuck everything, boom, water downhill. It's probably down there. Let's go." But yeah, absolutely. And we need to get some tours going. Get some income of some sort, don't we, Jacob, to keep this thing growing, because everywhere I step my foot, there's something new to find in this damn area, isn't there? I got to go walk him. He's going to eat my shirt.
The tour program is on. So if you are anywhere in the world and you like to start doing tours, we have courses for any place. We'll train you on the history of the site and what to show, and you'll keep 80% of the money that you set for your tour. So the Institute only takes 20% because we do all the advertisement, we give you the courses. And if you don't have money to pay the courses, which are cheap, we can dilute that money on the tours that you organize and take it slowly so it doesn't affect. So it's not a reason. I don't have money to take a course. That's not a reason, because we can put that onto your actual work and you can pay that in a few times. So, and it's pretty cheap. I can't remember right now, but it's really low price, the courses. So
Well, I know the area, so just reach out to me. You know, if you're talking about this area, I can tell you where to stay, and we can go. I can tell you where to camp. You know, I can take care of everything. It's a one-stop shop right here. All right, I'm done advertising. Go check out Shaman 7-Eleven if you get a chance on YouTube, and look at Antediluvian Alabama.
showed us today where you have this magic platform where you can put just a sleeping bag. There is no bugs.
it.
The bugs
That's
don't come to the platform.
No,
on the witch burned house that only
They-
has TV now.
but dude, imagine. Would you imagine, like, it's nighttime and you're in the middle of nowhere, so the light pollution is like, you know, next to nothing. You've got the stars above. You're set up nice and comfortable and cushioned on that platform, and you've got a roaring fire in that chimney. Just imagine everything lit up in the shadows on the trees. Man, I'm going.
You
I'm going.
would be able to see the witch coming on the broom from far away.
It's
Well,
I
thank
told you I
you.
like Erie. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for everybody that stopped by to see us. And yeah, that's it. Catch me on a live stream tomorrow looking at my stuff. Go check out the Institute, and we will see you guys next week on the Shaman and the Philosopher.
And your channel? What's the name of your channel, Jason?
Mine, Shaman 7-Eleven on YouTube. Put an underscore after that on X.
Okay. Thank you all, and a very fond farewell.